Hey guys, welcome to our new weekly series presented by us at Action Coach SWHG, focusing on effective marketing strategies for small business. This week, we're diving into digital marketing tactics for small businesses so that you can maximize your online presence. Let's start by understanding what digital marketing is and why it's crucial for small businesses. It's all about leveraging digital channels to reach and engage customers. First, website optimization. Your website should be mobile friendly. If it's not mobile friendly, it doesn't matter. 92.3% of most website visits at this point in time are from a mobile device. So if you haven't optimized it so that it can be viewed on a mobile device, people aren't going to look at it. Make sure that it's quick to load, that you don't have heavy or cumbersome videos, slide techniques, things like that that are slowing it down. And then you want to optimize it for search engines. So that way, search engines can find you and your website when you build or when people search for you. These elements ensure that your site is accessible and visible to your audience. Next, social media engagement. It's essential to maintain consistent branding, share engaging content, and interact with your community. This builds strong relationships with your audience. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked all about creating buyer personas. Create those buyer personas. That's an extraordinarily important piece. Once you've created those, then it gives you the ability to go back and make sure that you're sharing engaging content for your buyers. Make sure that you're actually or interacting with your buyers community correctly. And also it gives you a very clear voice as to how you speak to your buyers. Next, moving into and onto email marketing, develop a robust subscriber list, personalize your emails, and keep in touch regularly. If you're providing a service or providing a product that is of value and you provide that value to your clients, you're not going to overburden them by reaching out regularly. If you reach out 4 or 5 times a day, that's a different matter. But if you're reaching out to them once or twice a week, maybe about an upcoming event or an upcoming sale or anything like that, upcoming information and news, kind of like what we're doing here, that is of value, and people will look for your emails purposefully to be able to interact and act on those emails. So this keeps your audience engaged and informed about your business. And don't forget about online advertising. With targeted ads, you can reach specific audiences effectively. Remember to set a budget, test your ads, and use analytics to measure success. So let's break those down. You can set a daily budget for Facebook and Instagram. You can set daily budgets for LinkedIn. You can go through and set those daily budgets. Make sure you do that. It doesn't have to be at the beginning, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can do $10, $15 a day and grow over time. You may find that as you go into holidays or a specific sale or specific season that you want to increase that budget so you can get your marketing message out there as much as possible. That's perfectly fine. But if you don't know what it is that you're starting with, it can be very daunting, very scary, and frankly, very expensive. So make sure you're testing and measuring. You've heard that from me before, through your ads to see what's working, what's not working, and be able to track that as time progresses. Finally, some of the questions that get asked very commonly. We have those here. Some of the questions that get asked very commonly. What are key components for successful digital marketing strategy for small businesses? Think about it. Some of the key components we just talked about. So we want to make sure that we are omnipresent. We're present where our customers are. So we have that customer voice. We have that buyer persona. We're speaking to them, not only their language, but in the places that they want. If your client is 18-year-old females, you're going to speak to them differently and in different places than you would speak to a 42-year-old female or a 73-year-old male. Make sure that you're speaking to them where they are. Don't forget, part of the battle is you going to them, not them coming to you. How can small business maximize their online presence without large marketing budgets? We just talked about that. Set some daily limits. Very targeted ad campaigns. So go through when you're building out your ad campaigns and look for that buyer persona. Dial that buyer persona in as much as you can, so that way, if you're trying to target that 18-year-old female with a very specific ad, you're not paying for the 65-year-old grandfather to see and click on that ad. You want it to be very targeted, and you can do all of that through both Facebook and Instagram Ad Manager. You can do that through LinkedIn. You can do that through any of the social medias. You can dial that into inches of its life. So make sure you pay attention to that. Ask questions if you have them. We're always here to help. Okay? What are some effective ways to measure the impact of digital marketing efforts for a small business? Again, you're going to test and measure. You're going to want to look at the number of clients, number of customers that are clicking on the ad, viewing the ad. What is that turning into for you? So we talk about marketing qualified leads. Those are people that raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested. Sales qualified leads is that next step down the funnel. Sales qualified leads are those people that not only are they interested, but they actually can buy. They have the money, they have the wherewithal, they have the ability to purchase your thing, whether that's a product or service. That gets them there. And then we move them further down to engaging them, whether it's in your store, on your online presence, or via phone call if you provide a service. It makes you move, or it moves them down that funnel until you have a final sale. Each one of those moves is a conversion, and you need to increase your conversion each step of the way. Focusing on the messaging and the conversion will increase your total number of sales. And then finally, how does targeted advertising help small businesses reach their ideal customers? Again, customers aren't necessarily going to look for you. You have to look for them. It's not that they may not Google search for size 4 party dresses. I don't know. It's more a matter of once they do, you've targeted them. So when they're on Facebook, when they're on Instagram, when they're on Snapchat, they don't really use Twitter, any of the social media, social marketing platforms, you've dialed that in so that way you are finding them and serving your ad up to them as opposed to someone else. Okay. Last thing that we have, we'll talk a little bit. Again, each one of our series will be 4 weeks. So this series will also cover targeted advertising, word of mouth marketing, and content marketing strategies in the next 3 and 4 weeks. So make sure that you stay tuned for more insights. And as always, thanks for joining us today. We hope that these tips help in maximizing your online presence. Don't miss next week's topic on targeted advertising for small businesses. For more information, visit the Action Coach SWHG website at actioncoachswhg.com. Give us a ring, drop us a line on any of our socials. We're more than happy to help you in any way, shape, or form at any point in time that we can to help you grow your small business. Thanks. Have a good one.